Hey, this is Eric with Eric's Barbecue and More, and today we're going to be doing a spatchcock turkey on the Old Country Pecos. When you're purchasing your turkey, the first thing you want to do is look at the packaging and see what percentage of salt. If it is salt listed in the ingredients, then you know that it is a salt injected bird. And that means that you're going to want to reduce the amount of salt you use in your dry brine. So this is a 13.6 pound turkey. All right, you're going to want to get some good quality kitchen shears for this. The first thing I do is cut this plastic piece off. We don't need that where we're going. And I'm just gonna have to get some of this stuff out of here. I've had this thawing for, what, 4 days? There's instructions on how to thaw. I think it's so many days per pound or something like that. And even though you do follow the instructions, it's still going to be ice cold. There's going to be ice in the cavity and so forth, but it will thaw out. It's thawed enough to do what we're doing here. So this is 24 hours before we're going to actually do our cook. Also, you don't need this thing. These things are useless. And so 24 hours before your cook is when we're going to start doing this. Now, we are doing a spatchcocked turkey. So that means we're going to remove the spine and then splay the thing out. So I'm just kind of loosening this guy up a little bit. And you're going to want to find the opening. I'm going to finish getting this out of here. I probably will rinse this off a little bit, get some of this ice out of here. It's just extremely cold. So I rinsed it off a little bit, got some of the ice out of the cavity, and there is a surprise in here. The giblets, the heart, and all that kind of good stuff is usually in a bag. You want to make sure you get all of that out of there, so I ripped the bag, so I need to make sure I get all the pieces. All right, so we rinsed it off again, got everything cleaned out. We're gonna flip it over so we can see the spine that runs down here. And we are just going to cut on both sides. Flip it around, do the other side. Just want to kind of try to stay close to the spine. And don't cut yourself. We got that side freed up. There you go. So people say you can use that in stock or whatever. I don't do that stuff. All right, so you're gonna take a sharp knife and you just kind of want to cut through this part right here. And score down the middle. And then flip it over. Gonna kind of push down in the middle, and then it splays out very nicely. And then I like to trim off this little skin right here. And there you have one spatchcocked turkey. All right, so next we're going to pat this dry. Pull off any feathers you might see. All right, so I have a concoction of kosher salt, baking powder, and rosemary. And again, because this is a injected bird, there's already salt inside, or into the meat. So we don't want to do a ton of kosher salt. And what you're seeing here is mostly you're seeing the powder, not the kosher salt. So I didn't put a ton of kosher salt on this. And you're just gonna lightly sprinkle. The baking powder is something that I've done a couple times, and it's kind of mixed reviews on whether it crisps up the skin or not. I think crisping up the skin is probably the hardest part of when you're smoking a turkey. It's always the biggest challenge. We go a little bit extra on the thicker parts, breast. All right, now you're just gonna put this into the refrigerator just like this. Don't cover it. You wanna be able to let the air move around it overnight. 24 hours to 36 hours is ideal for a dry brine. We're gonna go 24 hours in this one. All right, so here's what you've got when the turkey comes out 24 hours later. The skin is a different looking color, but that's exactly what you want it to look like after the dry brine. All right, what I'm gonna do next is lightly rinse off the exterior just to get that seasoning off of there. All right, after rinsing, you just wanna pat it dry. Get all the nooks and crannies. And then we are going to get up under the skin. And you're going to break the skin away from the meat. Do that the same on the thighs. All right, so we got a stick of butter, and we've mixed in with the stick of butter sage, rosemary, parsley, and thyme. Also a bit of cayenne pepper. And all I'm gonna do with this is get it up underneath the skin and then coat the outside of the skin as best we can. It's kind of a tricky thing because it's not really like spreadable. So you're just gonna have to do as best you can to get it into those different places. You can kind of move that stuff around as well, kind of massage it into the meat. All right, and lastly, I'm going to take some rosemary and sort of sprinkle that on top. All right, and then for presentation and to keep these wings out of the way, we're going to tuck these behind. We have a nice flat bird to put on the smoker. All right, it's been 45 minutes. Together, looking good. I'm gonna try something I've never tried before. Got some melted butter. I'm just gonna spray it on here. All right, we're about an hour in. And we're still at 316 degrees, 112 on the turkey, and I haven't added a single log yet. You saw the log, or the split I should say, that I had when I first started it. It's still pretty good, but it's starting to break down. Just gonna move that over there. Break it up a little bit. And then I've got some splits up here. Nice, good seasoned cherry wood is what I always cook with. And cherry is going to be extremely good for any kind of poultry. But I find cherry wood to be the best wood for anything. If you have access to cherry, use it. All right, those of you who have watched my channel for quite a while, usually this smoker is the other way around. Well, I've got prevailing wind coming at my face, so I want to keep that prevailing wind at the mouth of the firebox so that it's pushing air, or helping to push air through here. We basically have a convection oven when you're looking at a smoker like this, and keeping that air flowing through here will help with even temperatures across the meat. And hey, while you're smoking your turkey, hop on YouTube and watch videos. I recommend Eric's Barbecue and More. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell and enjoy more of my content. Thank you. All right, it's been another 45 minutes. Ooh, look at that. Zoom in on that. It's looking good. All right, we're gonna do that spray butter again. Trying to crisp up this skin. All right, it's been about another 40 minutes. Ooh, it looks good. And we're gonna check internal temps. As long as it stays above 155, we know we're good. I'm just pulling out slowly and seeing what the temps are. They're good. Hotter on this side, evidently. Yeah, I'd say we're good. We can pull this sucker. All right, about this time I had a house full of people, so I'll be doing a little voiceover here. So you're just gonna cut off the leg and thigh right at the joint there. Should just twist right off. There you go. Now you're just gonna follow the joints, cut down the drum. Right there, there's a joint where the drum and the thigh connect. You just kind of pull those apart. And sometimes they come right apart. Sometimes you gotta cut a little cartilage off. You can see the juice coming out of this thing. It is really good. Should pop. Look at that juice coming off of there. Now, one thing I did not perfect is the skin. When you're smoking turkey, I've had a hard time getting the skin to not be rubbery. It's still flavorful, but it's not crisp. One of these days, I'm gonna whip out the torch and just torch the skin a little bit. I've tried different things. Cooking at a lot higher temperatures helps with the skin, but it also can dry out the bird. So there again, you're gonna just cut go right for those joints, cut the wing off. Beautiful looking wing. And then the breast. Now, I always confuse myself here. I'm cutting from the bottom up, and I'm used to with a whole turkey, a non-spatchcock turkey. You're actually cutting from the spine down, and it's easier to cut off the breast from the spine down. So coming from left of the screen to the right is actually the way you need to be cutting this. So I'm cutting from the middle like I normally traditionally do on a whole turkey, and it's a little bit harder actually with the spatchcock, or I'm just out of practice. I've probably done 4 or 5 of these, but this was the first one for 2023. So there you go. I'm cutting off the breast meat. I recommend doing this so that you can get good cross-grain cuts of the meat, which makes for a more tender bite. It's just like when you're cutting brisket, cut across the grain. Doing that with poultry is always best. You can do this with chicken, but smoked turkey is by far my favorite. So you're just going to cut across the breast in little 1/2 inch pieces, 1/4 inch, whatever. You can see that skin. It's just it's cutting through, but it's not that crisp that I'm looking for. So if anybody's got any tips on getting the crispy skin, or if anybody's done the blowtorch method, I do want to try that someday. Just get the blowtorch out and crisp that puppy up. Or maybe stick it in the oven and broil it for a minute, just to try to get it a little bit bite through. So we're speeding up here a little bit, just cleaning up the remains of the good breast meat there. Guys, don't forget, cooking the turkey to 165 is not the way to go. You got to pull it sooner than that. You want it to finish at 165. Pull it at 155. If you're not comfortable with that, 160. So the dark meat, I'm just sort of slicing the meat off of there. There may be better methods. And then I try to, on the plate, separate the dark from the white meat. I find that smoked dark meat can sometimes take on almost a ham flavor to it. All right, once you get those chunks in manageable sizes, you can cut across the grain just like you did with the breast meat. Pile it on the plate. All right, we're going to speed things along here. Just pull off as many chunks as you can, good pieces. And this time I just cut the whole thing off of there. It's real easy. I think at this point I remembered that I'm not dealing with the spine. I'm only dealing with the spine's gone. I cut it out. I spatchcocked it. So again, you're going after those joints. Speed through here. That one off. Well, I took one of those drums to work for lunch. It was delicious. There's nothing better than being in the office and putting it in the microwave, getting the whole office smelling like smoked turkey. Man, you get a lot of looky-loos when you do that. So at this point, I just pulled the skin off, so I was disappointed with it. Pulling off the wings. All right, now I'm going at it a little better angle. Just kind of separating the meat a little bit from the bones and then trying to get that knife as close to the bones as possible. The bigger you can cut this little slab, the better. And again, look at all the juice on that board. Another pro tip, if you guys are still with me. So what I'm cutting this on is a cafeteria tray. You can pick them up off Amazon, and they make the best cutting boards. They are the best, moving product from smoker to table and so forth. I only have one of these, but I could probably use 5. But this one I've had for probably 5 years now, and it's just a great little cutting board. Keeps all the juice where you want it, and it's keeps your knives from getting dull. I mean, it's a cheap solution. Well, if we're getting close to the end of the video here, I don't think I don't have a video of me actually taking a bite. You know, I had a house full of people was starving, looking at me right here. So I just want to take a second to thank you guys for watching Eric's Barbecue and More.